Hey friends, Shay here. So today I am here to wrap up my manga reading for the month of February. I know my videos have been coming more sparse lately. Life got really overwhelming the last few weeks with the store opening, and I've been working more hours and some things like that. So I'm in an adjustment phase, we'll put it that way. Let's go ahead and talk about some statistics from the month of February for my manga reading. I did read a total of 32 volumes of manga in the month of February. 13 of those were print volumes and 19 were digital. I can blame a good chunk of reading One Piece on the Shonen Jump app in this particular month. I ended up reading 12 volumes of One Piece alone. That will also skew some of these stats, like reading 14 shonen volumes, because 12 of those were One Piece. I also read 7 shoujo titles, 7 josei titles, 3 seinen titles, and 1 yaoi title. Now, when I use the category of like yaoi or yuri, that's because there's not another bigger demographic that they fall into. So I am reading more queer titles than it looks, but some of them are falling into like shonen ai or shoujo ai, and so I put them in shonen and shoujo. So I wanted to make that clear so that y'all know these stats don't represent necessarily how many of these titles are queer. I've thought about tracking that as well, but I don't know. I don't know that that's that important to me because I know how much queer I read, so... My average star rating for the month was 4.25 stars. So again, my manga reading was pretty high despite some of the things. My pages read for the month so far were 5,310. So that it's a lot of manga reading, let's be real. How I read these things. So 6 of these volumes were from my physical TBR, and that's a problem. We're already like better than that in the month of March, just so you know. So 20 of these volumes are what I consider borrowed. So I either read them on something like the Shonen Jump app or Kindle Unlimited, which is 16 right there, because that's Black Panther and Sweet 16 and my One Piece volumes. And then some of them I'll like sit in the bookstore and read and decide not to purchase them. And so those I consider borrowed. So I had 20 that were borrowed. And then I had 3 from NetGalley that were ARCs and 3 rereads. If you missed it, my On the Chopping Block video is up, and you can see what I decided with my On the Chopping Block title. I mean, obviously, if I only read 3 of a 9-volume series, that should tell you enough. So, those are my statistics for the month. So, let's talk a little bit about my reading. So, I didn't do as much manga reading as I normally would in the month of February. It was a very heavy audiobook, specifically reading month for me, so I didn't read. Early in the month, I read a lot, and then later in the month, I didn't read as much just because I was so exhausted that I didn't even want to pick up physical volume. So I definitely brought more in on my physical than I read from my physical this last month, but again, I'm really happy with the amount that I brought in because it wasn't a lot, and I have read some of these already. So with that said, let's dive into what I picked up in the month of February. Okay, I've got my stack here. Let's go. So first up, I do have In the Name of the Mermaid Princess Volume 1. I sat in the bookstore and read this one before purchasing, so I have already read this one, and I really enjoyed it. I do have another Volume 1 video coming your way, hopefully in the month of March. Because I've read a decent chunk and I feel like you guys want to hear about them. This will be featured in that video. Another one along the same lines as that is Steel of the Celestial Shadows. So I sat in the bookstore and read this one. It came home with me, so that should tell you enough. But I'm going to have a lot to say in that video about this particular one as well. So when that's up, I will link it somewhere, either in the description or up in the corner. Next, I have Sakura Saku Volume 2. A lot of people have had mixed feelings reading this volume. I have not read it yet, but I am excited to continue. I really loved the first volume. I'm going to be interested to see where I land with this one. I will hopefully be sharing my thoughts on that relatively soon as well. Next, I have My Cute Little Kitten Volume 2. I was finally able to pick this up. This is a Yuri series that I'm really loving. I have since read this one. I didn't read it in the month of February, but I have read it since March started. And it's, again, very, very good. So excited to continue with that. Next, I did pick up The Ice Guy and the Cool Girl Volume 3. I really love this series. It's adorable. Again, if you've watched the anime, there's no new content here, but again, it's a great time. Hi, you want to come say hi to the people? Kaladin wanted to come and say hello. It's snowing outside, so he is sad because he is not warm enough. Even though I keep the upstairs very warm for him, so he's just being a grump. You gonna let me film, or are you gonna keep being grumpy? Huh? Huh? Next, I have I'll Never Be Your Crown Princess, Volume 3. This is the final volume of this particular series. We are getting a spin-off. I have a finished manga series volume coming, or video coming up for you soon. This will be featured in that as well. Next here, I do have Imakoi Volume 9. Similarly to the last one, this will be featured in that final volume completed series video that you'll be seeing soon. And just know that this is adorable. If you've loved the series, I think you will enjoy the ending. That's all I'm going to say here, but I'll go more in depth in that video. Next, I have The Red Thread Volume 2. I really enjoyed the first volume. The first chapter is very intense of that, featuring a double suicide. So do know that going into this series. But essentially, after that first chapter, you are following them reincarnated. And this is the love story of the reincarnated couple. So I'm really interested to see where this volume takes us, because I really liked the direction of the first volume. So I'm excited to see where this one's going to go. Next, I do have My Senpai is Annoying Volume 11. I love this office rom-com. I've loved it for a very long time. I've been touting its praises basically since the beginning. It is a colored series. We don't get too many of those, so I appreciate it for that. I just love these two. Their dynamic is just golden. He's so oblivious, but again, so not at the same time. Like, I just love it. Another one that'll be featured in the final volume or completed series video that's coming is the two of them are pretty much like this volume 4. This is the final volume of this Yuri series. This has been very slice of life. A lot of people didn't love it and didn't gravitate towards it. So I'm really interested to see how this one's going to end, and we'll see if it stays in my collection. Next, I did pick up Tsubaki-cho Lonely Planet Volume 6. Do I have volumes of this to catch up on? Yes. Am I still picking them up as I go? Also, yes. I plan on catching up on a lot of things in the month of March, so I'm hoping that this is coming up very soon. Next, I did pick up Prince Freya Volume 10. I love Prince Freya. I've been on the Prince Freya train since the beginning. I know a lot of people have since dropped this series, but I feel like it continues to get better and better with each volume. So again, this is one that I really love and adore, and I'm really excited to see where it's going to go from here. Next, I have Kowloon Generic Romance Volume 6. I'm sad I haven't gotten to this yet. It's still sealed. I might pick it up and read it today. I don't know, but yes, I love this series so much. Y'all know I love this series. It was definitely one of the best things that I've started in the last year, and I just continue to enjoy each installment as it comes out. Next, I have The Dangerous Convenience Store Volume 2. I adored Volume 1 so much. Of course, I'm going to pick up Volume 2, and I will read this as long as it is. And I just don't care. Like, I just love it. I love it. I love them. And that's all I need to say. Next here, I have Cherry Magic Volume 10. I know that this is not the last volume. There are more to come. But yes, I'm very excited to continue. I believe I'm just one volume behind on this one. I think I've read through Volume 8, so I need to read 9 and 10. So again, hoping to catch up on this one this month. And then last but not least, I do have What's Wrong with Secretary Kim Volume 3. So I've loved the first 2 volumes of this series. It's only going to be a 6-volume series. So I'm really excited to see how Volume 3 is going to go. So with that said, that is everything for this video. My manga reading in the month of February was a lot of fun. You are going to get a lot of details on that soon. Any of the videos where I talk about the manga that I've read are in the cards up above. So if you want to know my detailed thoughts on anything that I read in the month of February, you've got a couple places to check. So thank you again so much for watching this video. If you are here just because you love me, leave me. Leave me a snowflake. It's currently snowing outside, so leave me a snowflake emoji, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.